What's going on, guys? Back with another video for you. Today we're going to show off everything we picked up this past weekend. In full transparency, it's been about a week. Today is Saturday. I'm actually going to go to another card show tomorrow, one that's much more local to me and a little bit much smaller. But I went to a large card show with a trade night on top of it. Spent about 5 hours at the card show. Was able to get some killer deals, including picking up over 100 101s, and you're going to see all those. Might not be everyone's cup of tea, but I think it's a really good play, especially at the value that I was able to pick up these cards at. And then the trade night wasn't super hot. At that point, I was kind of a little burnt out, to be honest. I wanted to just kind of get home, so I didn't really give it my best effort that I probably should have. I spent probably about half an hour at the trade night, looked at probably like 10 to 15 different people's stuff. Nothing I could really use, and then a lot of the other people were kind of set up as like vendors with stuff on the table, and quickly scanned the room there and didn't see much I could use as well. So if I hung it out and just really sat there and talked to everyone and made sure I looked at every single card, I'm sure I could have gotten a couple more deals done. But I was happy with the card show, happy everything I was able to do. So left it at that and decided to go home. But I want to show you guys everything that we picked up this past weekend. Super excited about it. Sorry it took a little bit of time. I did have video issues again with my GoPro footage. It was just video of me. So you could see kind of my reaction and showing off some of the cards. Just my, sort of like this video where you see just kind of like my head and shoulders. So wanted to add that in there, but was not able to make it work. So kind of backed out of it because at the point that we are trying to fix that video, it's getting to way too long. So wanted to get this out. So if you hear me talking about GoPro dying, because it died at 1.2 and it was only going to be like half the video, just really wasn't worth the extra effort I was putting into this. But if you hear me referring to stuff like that, that's why. But excited to show you guys the cards. Without further ado, let's show off what we were able to pick up. So picked up this Ty Law. This is more of a PC card for me. Ty Law 101 Superfractor here on auto card. It's one of those cards that I have up for like $100. If someone wants to pay me $100, they most certainly can. Got this Penix Jr. for $5. Took a flyer on it. I don't know. I thought maybe it was a $10 card. Probably more like a $5 card there. This is how they had it in their box, by the way. And they originally wanted $15 for it. So probably should have walked away at that point. But was trying to force some deals, I think. This lot was picked up for $20. So you got Drew Aller. Numbered 1 out of 10 there. I think that he's going to have a good season at Penn State still. Bo Jackson, I've had this card before, so this is numbered to 7. This is, I think, some sort of like short print with leaf metal. This card's like a $30 card, so that card alone should pay for everything. Shador picked him up. Still picking up Shadors if I can, 50 out of 15. When you're looking at it less than $4 a card, why not take a flyer? Blake Corum, this one is numbered out of 3. And then CJ Stroud, this one's actually already been sold. This is out of 9. Listed this one yesterday and it has already sold for I think $10, so takes out half of what I paid for that lot there. Then next we picked up this out of 99 Jackson Cheerio PSA 10. This is from Topps Chrome Gilded. So there was a comp of $173 on this card, and then there were 2 other comps of $303 and $350. The seller went off just strictly off the last comp. If you look at the last comp, it doesn't say Topps Chrome in it. It doesn't say gold. It's an auction. Who knows when that auction ended? I did a quick little short on this. But this is why you can't just go off last sold. You need to at the very least, average them out. And to be honest, I probably wouldn't have even averaged them out. I would have just gone off the 2 last sales that were complete titles and that kind of stuff, because I would have said, I'm sorry, but that last comp I'm just throwing away. And I'll do it the same way for a big card. If there's a big sale and it just seems like something's off with it, I'll throw that away as well. But I think that's a $300 card all day long. I was very happy to make that pickup. This last deal before we get into the one big one that we did, Roman Anthony. So Red Sox prospect. He's definitely going to be coming up sooner rather than later. I got 2 of his Mojos and then picked up a Sapphire out of 75, all PSA 10s. Probably paid comps for this card, to be quite honest. All 3 of these cards probably paid at comp. A player I like, kind of more PC kind of item there. I think his value is going to go up once he gets into the league. One of the top prospects in the MLB, never mind, just the Red Sox. Then this next purchase is all one huge lot. So we broke this down into two different purchases, $140 and $1,200. So we're into all these cards for $1,340. So I'll start with the autographs first, and that's not really what headline this by. So Rocket Ishmael, this is a $6 card, already sold. Dylan Johnson, picked up Luther Burden, auto, Malachi Corey auto, Matthew Golden. This one was pretty cool. John Daly, I got this for 25 bucks. It's like a $60 card. Jackson Dart, Howard, and Simmons. This already sold for 50 bucks. Lad McConkey, out of 10, Ashton Genty, and out of 4, Ashton Genty. I think for the pair, I may have paid 60 bucks. I think I got this one for 30. Bo Jackson, I already sold that for 60 bucks. And then Joe Torre, just listed this one. It's like a $20, $25 card. But being a Red Sox fan, there was also a Terry Francona one, but it's weird how you gravitate more towards the Joe Torre as a Red Sox fan than I did for, you know, the Francona, the Red Sox pitcher. I paid $2.50 per numbered card. So you'll see a kind of a theme. Keon Coleman out of 2, Keon Coleman out of 2, Leggett out of 2, Bijan out of 2, Bettis, this is out of 2, Kamara out of 4. So you're going to see a lot of rookies. I'm not going to go through every single player, or let's say every single player. These are cool out of 25, a little bit higher of a print than what I was picking up, but with the American flag, just a cool graphic. The one thing I kind of noticed about Wild Card is cards that have cool graphics, cards that color match, cards that sparkle black, those kind of cards, American flag, stuff like that. And obviously low numbers going to help too. But they just do well. And I don't think it's so much the numbering system. Like, I was talking to the vendor about these cards, and I don't think that people necessarily gravitates towards, you know, who cares if it's a 2 or out of 2 or out of 3. And let's face it, the out of 2, there's the pumpkin cracked ice, there's a pumpkin shimmer, there's a pumpkin hollow, there's a pumpkin lava, there's more than just one. And then like you'll see tons of like the same prints. Then there's the out of 2 Frankenstein and the Witch, and so it's not really like it's a card out of 2. So it's all about how cool the card looks. Someone wants to put it into their collection. Like, this looks awesome. Leaf Neighbors out of 2, but with the blue, and I'm not even sure what the monster is supposed to be, or I think that's a witch. The witch one maybe, with the mouth right there. I don't know. But the color match stuff, that stuff kind of looks cool. CJ Stroud, I mean, all these cards were $2.50. So I figured I couldn't pass up on this type of inventory. It's not going to be, I didn't think it was going to be the fastest moving, but to be quite honest, I've listed about 25 cards, and I think 15 have already sold. So it's not the worst stuff. It's not the best stuff in the world. I know a lot of people, it's not licensed. A lot of people shy away from Wild Card and this kind of stuff, but they're just cool cards. This one was a higher print out of 50, but it just has the cool look to it. So I think they're all worth picking up, especially at $2.50 a card for, you know, all these cards here. So we did big bulk buys, and it also made my purchasing of, you know, the John Daly, getting that for $25. You know, all that became a little bit easier because we had already locked up so much in the deal and so much in the profit. You know, originally he wanted $3 for each numbered card. I wanted to be at the $2 mark. Asked him if he would split the difference, and he pretty much just said, like, what's only 50 cents? And it's like, well, it's not 50 cents because there's a couple hundred of these, or maybe 100 of these cards. So I think in the end I was thinking it was like $60 that I was saving, but definitely made the negotiating a lot easier. Then it gets kind of into, so these are more the number cards. I just have these stacks also a little bit organized because these ones are already listed on my eBay. So I want to make sure that I'm not moving these, but Jim Harbaugh out of 3, I thought that was pretty cool. And the nice thing about doing big buys like this is LFG exclamation mark. This is a case hit, so out of 10, case hit. Learn that. So now going into dollar boxes, low numbered boxes, I know that it's only a $12 card, but I know if I see that, I know it's a case hit. If it's a decent name, which it most likely will be if it's a case hit, it's worth picking up. Chase Brown out of 75, cool looking card. Dynamite, Malik Neighbors out of 3. So all these have been listed. And then this gets to the final part of this buy, which is, I'll save this one for the last because that has my big purchase in it. It wasn't just all lower end stuff, but these are all 1's. So he originally had all his 1's, and these are some of the lower names in the beginning. But he had some crazy people in here: Terrell Davis, Joe Alt, Urban Meyer, a couple printing plates here, Trey Benson. But he originally had these all priced at $10 a card. Reggie Jackson, 1/1. So looking through, there were enough big names that I was interested in a lot. I didn't want to spend $10, and he did have like a progressive pricing strategy that got his cards down to about $8 a card if you were willing to buy like 10. So, which I still didn't want to quite spend that much money on. Then it goes into these ones I've listed as well. Oh no, I haven't listed these ones. Sorry, grabbing from the wrong stack here. Continue with these ones that haven't been listed. So Malik Neighbors at 1, Chase Brown 1, Jerome Bettis on the Monster Hits 1/1, Jahmyr Gibbs 1. So all these are 1/1s. We ended up negotiating and getting it down to $5 a card. He went down to as low as $6 pretty much on his own. I wanted to be at that $5. I just asked, hey, would you do $5 a card? And he, without really much hesitation, said yes. So I think I probably could have gotten it even a little bit lower here. But just some awesome stuff. I know it might not be the fastest moving stuff in the world, but judging by how it's been so far, I'm okay with that because I think I'm going to make my money pretty much within the week or two on the purchases that have happened already. I've seen enough results where people are buying it quick enough. I'll make my money back, and then the rest over the next month or so will be pure profit. I'm releasing probably about 15 cards a day just to keep my eBay active. But Tank Dell, pretty cool cards. And then these are the ones that I've listed. So I can kind of show you guys everything that's already sold as well. So Malik Neighbors, all these were just listed last night. I haven't even gotten them in top loaders. I actually need to go to my local card shop and go buy some new top loaders because I don't have the 60 point right now. Barry Sanders, this already sold for $10. Earl Campbell sold for $6. Herm Edwards is a $5 card. Keenan Allen, Tank Dell, Kamara. I don't even know who this is. He's a Hall of Famer. Hockey, I don't know a ton about, especially people that aren't, from, I would say, probably 2006 to current. But this sold for, I can't think of the 10 or 15 bucks. The Aaron Donald, this one already sold for 15 bucks. Travis Hunter, this sold for 20. Jaden Daniels, this sold for 35. Lab McConkey, I don't think sold yet. McConkey, Laporta. Brock Bowers, this is a pretty cool one. I priced this one up a little bit. The black seems to do a little bit better. Dalton Kidd, I was surprised at this one. It's only like a $4 one. As I said, some probably won't cover that $5 mark, but with the amount of that we bought, I'm okay with that. No big issue with that, but they are awesome looking cards. I get that it's not everyone's cup of tea, but like these American Eagle with like crack ice, American flag, just looks so cool. I think that they'll all eventually sell, and there's a ton of the higher end rookies, Puka rookies, Jahmyr Gibbs blue shimmer rookie, really matches well. And then it kind of finishes off with a big bang here. So these cards were not thrown in, but at the end, I picked up this Bucky Irving in the lot. So this one already sold for 20 bucks. But then this was my biggest 1/1 out of the whole thing. We picked up the Amon-Ra St. Brown 1/1 shield here from Select. So at a 9.5, he had a $500 tag on it. I ended up picking this one up in the lot for 400 bucks. So it's my first time ever having an NFL shield card here. Not sure if it's what kind of buy it is. I think that I'll do well. I see comps at like $500, not graded for a shield card. I know it's an insert, but it's graded at 9.5. No, it's S. All right, guys, so that's everything I picked up. I know wild card, as I said, isn't everyone's cup of tea, but those wild cards have been moving very fast. Filmed that about a week ago, and I've sold a ton of those. And a lot of them go for $20 to $25 for those 1/1s. I haven't really dipped too much into the lower end cards where they're out of 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm lotting those cards up. I'm trying to keep everything in the cases, so I have a bunch of them in front of me, but you know, they are in the top loaders and they are sealed. I know in like the hobby, breaking things out of the seal is kind of like a cardinal sin. So I'm really trying to avoid that, and it's mainly because if you're going to grade the card, people already think that you looked at it and it's not gradable, but no one's going to grade an out of 2 or out of 3 Jerome Bettis card. Like, it's just not going to add value unless you want it in the PSA slab. And in that case, you probably don't care if you get a 10, 9, 8, you know? So I don't know if cracking them out would really hurt the value. I know I did like a little TikTok on it to just see what people thought. Not a whole lot of people responded. I'm small on TikTok as I am here. But I was curious to get people's thoughts and see what people like thought about breaking out of a wild card 1 touch. So I'm doing bigger lots. The shipping I might lose a little bit of money on. I'll probably break even on these cards. I probably should have stayed away from the lower end stuff. If I break them out of the 1 touches, I think I'll make a little bit of money on it, and I think I'll actually make good money on it. But keeping them in the 1 touches and selling them in player lots, like Jerome Bettis, I think I have like 6 or 7 of his, but all in 1 touches. I only charge $5 for shipping. I could increase my shipping, but part of my spiel on my eBay is I don't charge more than $5. So I don't want to charge more than $5. I'll eat some of the cost. We'll see what happens. But pretty excited about this deal. I'm excited for tomorrow's card show. Hopefully I can keep this train going. This is the first week where I've had enough new inventory to list at least 15 cards or more a day, and I'm actually going to have a surplus of cards going into the next week, so I can get up to, if I have another good buy, I can get up to 20 cards a day listed. So I'm excited to kind of build that, because that's what really is going to snowball me and get me going here in this $50,000 profit challenge I'm doing, which if you haven't seen is a series I'm doing here. I know it's not quite with this video, but it's definitely going to get me going here. I'm super excited about the buy. Let me know what you guys think overall, and I'll catch you on the next one.